Hello everyone and welcome back to E2E. Today we will be continuing doing magic. What kind of magic? Well, we've already done star magic and we've already done evil demon magic, so now I think we should do nature magic, also known as Botania. I think the goal is just going to be wipe out the quest tree again, get everything set up, just like we've done the last two times. But in Botania, as you can see, we've already got some things. So I guess we can just run through quickly how we got all these. It's really not complicated, it's just, that we did that. So here's the center, this is the starting point. Petal Apothecary we crafted, that was pretty easy. That led into the Endo Flame, which you just put some petals into the Petal Apothecary. No surprise there. And that's all that we've done on the right. So on the left here, we start off by making a Pure Daisy, which is just another thing in the Petal Apothecary for white petals, not too difficult at all. And then around the Pure Daisy, we can make Living Rock and Living Wood by putting the associated Treated Wood or Arcane Stone. Using the treated wood, also known as living wood, we were able to make a mana spreader, which is not complicated to make. Just a bunch of living wood, some petals, some powder, and glowstone. That was pretty simple. We also could make a wand of the forest, which is just living wood sticks and a couple of petals, and that just allows us to link machines together. I say machines, I mean, it's more like linking flowers to mana pools, but let's be real, they're kind of like machines. Okay, anyways, with the living rock, we can make mana pools, which wasn't difficult. We started off with this diluted one, which is just living rock. And then we upgraded it with more living rocks, some petal blocks, and a rock crystal, just to get to the better one that holds a bit more mana. And then, by throwing in a piece of iron, we get mana steel. By throwing in a diamond, we get mana diamonds. By throwing in a piece of glass, we get mana glass. And by throwing in an ender pearl, you guessed it, mana pearls. I don't think any of those are actually listed on this tree, though, mostly because they're used as crafting ingredients, but that's fine. We also got the Mana Seer Monocle from a drop, but even if we didn't, it's not hard to make. We just need mana glass, mana steel, and some gold. I did go ahead and put the Mana Seer Monocle on just so I could see how things work, and as you can see, if we hover over the Pure Daisy, you can see the working radius, which is quite nice. I also went ahead and filled up a mana pool with some Endo Flames in between episodes because I know we're going to need a lot of mana to do basically everything. So I just went ahead and got that done preemptively. Now that took forever because these Endo Flames, they're very slow. So we're going to have to figure out a way to upgrade those eventually. But I think for now, we should just start working through the tree because I think the way to upgrade these things involves upgrading the book and then making some more advanced things. I'm fairly certain we need that Elven Gateway right here to upgrade the book, so that is what we're going to go for first. So it looks like we need to make a runic altar to make terrasteel. Runic altar is used for crafting runes, among other things, like terrasteel. Place or drop the items needed, supply with mana, and throw in a piece of living rock on top to end it. How do you craft this? Mana pearl, some living rock, and a rock crystal. Now we only have 10 pieces of living rock, so let's go ahead and just make some more real quick. And of course that can be done by placing this arcane stone around these pure daisies. As you can see, we get the little particle effects, which means it is in fact working. Runic altar, here we go. Bam, bam, and bam. There you go, runic altar done. That was pretty simple. Next up is the terrestrial agglomeration plate. Holy. Used to craft terrasteel. Must be placed in a 3x3x3 multi-block consisting of the plate, living rock, and lapis blocks. So 1 mana steel, 1 mana diamond, and 1 mana pearl on it to initiate the craft. It takes half a mana pool. Yep, see, this is why I made some mana in between episodes, because I knew we were going to need that. Oh yeah, and also, if you haven't noticed, I'm just kind of placing it on the front lawn because, yeah, that seems like the best idea for now. Again, everything's going to get moved eventually. So this is a temporary setup. Okay, so like this? So this setup for terrasteel does not take the runic altar, so I'm just going to put it over here for now, and we'll figure out how to use that later. I don't think we need it just yet. We do need to get that agglomeration plate, I think. Yeah, here we go. Oh, okay, looks like we're going to have to figure it out. Okay, fine. I'll figure it out. To utilize this altar, start by placing via a right-click or simply tossing the components of the rune you want to create. Proceed by putting a mana spreader to the altar so that mana transfer can occur. Oh, there we go. That looks better. And then since we need to activate the Endo Flames, we'll go grab some coal blocks. That's kind of what I've just been throwing at them. 8 coal blocks each, and then they just kind of burn for a little bit and make a bunch of mana. They all burn up, and they start transferring mana over to this thing. Rune of Fire, what do we need? Mana Steel, Mana Powder, Nether Wart, Gunpowder, and Nether Brick, and that makes 2 of them. Mana Powder just looks like you get it from chucking in any kind of powder into the mana pool. Let's go ahead and make a bunch of those. I feel like we're going to be needing some. Ta-da, and then I think we just have to drop it onto the plate, although let me take off my magnet ring really quick, and let's just see here. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. And it is shooting mana into it right now, which is good. And then I think we need to place a living rock on top of it when it's done. Okay, and it shot up some lightning there, so that looks like it's done. And also you can see that little circle's filled. So I think all we need to do now is living rock. And then wand. There you go. Drop pop candy. Rune of fire. Okay, let me go ahead and make the rest of the ones that I was going to make with the ingredients I have here. Again, just going to make a bunch of extra of these because we're probably going to end up needing them eventually. Alrighty, 20 runes of fire have been achieved. That wasn't too bad. In the meantime, I also went ahead and looked. The next one we're making is Rune of Water, which is just these, classic mana stuff. Mana powder, mana steel. We need 10 pieces of bone meal, 10 pieces of sugarcane, and 10 fishing rods to make 20. That's a little annoying, but that's a fine. I also went ahead and made a second mana spreader. And since I put it right next to the pool, it now blasts mana into this thing instead of having to wait for the endo flame. So hopefully we should be able to make this pretty fast. That looks to be pretty good. I mean, it isn't shooting mana in super quick. I think the Endo Flame was about the same speed, so I guess this is just a time-based thing. So I guess we'll just have to wait. But anyways, that is Rune of Water completed. Next up, we're going to need Rune of Earth, which is the classics. Stone, coal blocks, and mushrooms. We're going to need a Rune of Mana, which is 5 mana steel and a mana pearl, which is a lot of mana, so we're going to have to make a whole bunch of those. And then Rune of Air is the classics, carpet, string, and feathers. So why don't I just go ahead and just make all of those, because I don't think it's going to be that interesting watching me sit around here and click the activate button for 15 minutes. So we'll cut back when we have all these. Alright, runes have been acquired. Now, I realized as I was making the Rune of Mana that if we take a look in this book here, it says right here, any runes used for recipes in the runic altar function as catalysts and will be given back upon completion. So we didn't really need to make a bunch of these. We probably needed maybe 4 or 5 of them because, some of these have recipes. But yeah, I kind of just wasted a bunch of time and resources, and most importantly, mana. We're down to that much. That's not good. Okay, well, at least we have the runes though. We need 1 of each. We need a block of mana steel and 3 blocks of lapis. And there we have our terrestrial agglomeration plate. Alright, now I don't know how much mana this is going to use, and I hope it's not going to be an absurd amount, because that would be problematic, but anyways, I guess let's find out. Now, how does one actually use this thing? Let's find out. I think, yeah, it's under the terrasteel tab here, so let's give this a read. Mana needs to be provided to this block with sparks being the most effective method. We need to figure out what a spark is. After this is set up and ready, toss a mana ingot, mana diamond, and mana pearl onto it to begin. Let's just redirect this one in, and we're going to see what happens. It doesn't look like it's shooting, so that's probably a problem. We might have to lower this. Let's try that. Okay, there we go. And now you can see it's shooting. It's probably going to take half a year because, yeah, it's gonna take a while. Because we look at this, it is not even going down. So let's try to figure out what a spark is here. Ah, look, it's right there. Sparks. Sparks can rapidly transport mana between them. Blaze powder, magenta, or no, any mystical flower and a gold nugget. Okay. And we just got an achievement and a quest completed for that. Oh, okay, so it looks like you just kind of place one on top of the mana pool and then one on top of the block you want to transfer the mana to. So if we do like this and that, oh yeah, that's going to definitely speed this up, I think. It looks like they're linked as well, so, oh yeah, that's going down way faster. Okay, so that should be making our terrasteel, so let's just hang out here until it happens, right? Oh, look at the plate. It's making fancy symbols on it. This is kind of cool. Ooh! Let's go! Dancer in the Dark. Conjure terrasteel. Let's go. Okay, terrasteel has been completed. I guarantee you we're going to be needing a lot of this, so I might just want to get another one queued up, but as you can see, our mana production is suboptimal. So we definitely need to get a better way to get this, and I do know of a better way to get this, courtesy of Potato Master and the internet. It involves a flower that eats cake. It's called a Kekimuris. This is how you make one. It doesn't actually look too bad. We just need to grab one of these runes, so it looks like we're going to need to make a Rune of Winter to get this. Another thing of note, though, this isn't actually in the book yet. We need to make the Elven Gateway and throw this in to understand how they work, so I think that's what we're going to work towards next. Alrighty, let's go ahead and make this portal. Here we go, the portal to Alfheim. Okay, so we require 8 living wood blocks, 3 glimmering living wood blocks, so those are the ones with glowstone, 1 Elven Gateway core, reed on, and at least 2 mana pools and 2 nature pylons. Nature pylons, it looks like it's 3 terrasteel nuggets and a mana pylon, which that's pretty cheap. So we are going to have to use our terrasteel here, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and make those. And we also need 2 more normal mana pools, so we're going to have to use a couple more rock crystals. So let me go get those crafted. And here we have what we need. Nature pylons and mana pools acquired. Nice, and now we can claim this, and we can go ahead and look for the Elven Gateway, and it'll give us a nice list of what we need in here, so I don't have to go read the book again. So we need 8 living wood, we already got that. Glimmering, that's pretty easy. And then this gateway core, So we're gonna need a whole bunch of extra stuff. 4 terrasteel nuggets. Do I have enough? I do, because I had like 3 nuggets, I think, from melting down armor, which is really lucky because we would have had to make another one because it was 3 for these, and there's 2 of these, and then 4, so that's 10 nuggets, which is 2 ingots technically. So good thing we had extras. Okay, and there we have it. That is our Elven Gateway core thingy. Ta-da! Oh, and this is a big crafting recipe, so it's drawing in the light beams. Nice. Ta-da! Alright, let's go grab the other living wood stuff we need, and let's get this thing assembled. I would assume we need to supply it with mana, so that's going to be fun. And apparently we've also got Elementium before. Right, because I think we got it from melting stuff down. Now, the way you get this is actually quite simple. You just throw 2 mana steel into the portal, and you get 1 out. We're going to have to go ahead and do that anyway, because we're going to need a whole bunch of that. But since I melted down armor and crafted those nuggets that I got into an ingot, we've got it before. Okay, let me go grab everything else. Let's get this thing built. All right, I think this should work. Now we're going to have to fill these with mana and then do something. We also don't need these corners, but I think it just looks better anyway. I would assume that I need to, like... What did I just do? Oh. And it didn't work because... There's no mana, right, okay. So I think now I'm just going to go ahead and fill these up extremely slowly with endoflames. I may end up making 16 more endoflames just to surround this for the meantime. Yeah, let's just do that. And would you look at that, we have acquired some mana. Now I think I went a little overkill on this because I think you only need like 1/5 of one of these, and instead I've got like 4/5 of both. So I guess we can just go ahead and activate this. Ooh, we got particles. Is it on? I can't tell. Okay, well, it's not draining mana anymore, so I guess the easiest way to tell if you can actually, do this is I think you just chuck 2 pieces of these in, and then it gives you an Elementium. Haha! Would you look at that? Elven Gateway obtained. Very nice. Let's go ahead and claim this. And I guess next, should we go for the Elven Mana Spreader? Because I think this is just, a faster Mana Spreader. And honestly, these Mana Spreaders are taking quite literally forever. So let's go upgrade this. We need Dreamwood. We need to get our Mana Spreader. We need to make an Elementium Pipe piece, which we already have the cast. We just need to get 4 Elementium. And we also need a piece of Stardust from Astral Sorcery. Sounds easy enough. How do you get this Dreamwood? It is Elven Trade Living Wood. In you go. Can I also upgrade my book now? Oh, I can! Thank you for the upgraded book. Now I can... Oh my god. We noticed that our portal was opened via a link from another world. That's rather shocking news indeed. Alright, there is also... We have now unlocked the resources from Alfheim. Some lore, a Ritual of Gaia, a Ritual of Gaia 2, and some relics. Now, real question, is there more flowers in here? There is, such as the Kekimuras. Cake is delicious. We need to make cake. That doesn't actually look to be too hard. Pixie dust, a Rune of Gluttony, some petals, and then we can make... a cake-eating flower, which is probably what we're going to do because I think mana generation is a lot faster if you just eat cake. So that's probably what we're going to do. But let's go ahead and get this mana spreader going, and I also need to go get some new living wood because I just consumed the entire stack. Let me go get that built. And just like that, we have our Elven mana spreader. I'm fairly certain you can upgrade this a 3rd time, but you just need Gaia Spirit, and that is not going to be possible at this current stage. But hey, at least we have a faster mana spreader now, which hopefully will help us get mana faster with the new mana that we're about to just generate. So the real question is, should we keep going down the tree, or should we go get a Kekimura set up? Why don't we just keep going down the tree until we need something that uses like the entire thing of mana again, also known as a single ingot of terrasteel. Okay, so what is a Gaia pylon? These pylons are part of the ritual required to summon the Gaia Guardian. Okay, we're going to wait on that. Why don't we just go... Maybe should we start off with this side? Because I think making flowers we're going to do later, so... Let's just go down this way. Open crate. Immediately drops anything piped into it. Very useful for automation, such as like putting mana steel into this portal. That's actually nice to have. So this is made with just living wood. While we're waiting for that, since I actually have to make more living wood, let's go ahead and make this mana tablet. It stores mana used for powering your various Botania gadgets, such as rods and armor. Drop it into a mana pool, set it properly, and it'll get mana. So we just need 8 living rock and a mana diamond or mana pearl. And it looks like we're also out of living rock, so we're probably going to have to wait to make that. But we can get the insta dropper chest thingy. That should give us the open crate. That's just going to go straight into there for now. All right, open crate. Completed. Next up, Horn of the Wild. If you hold right-click with the Horn of the Wild in your hand, it'll harvest all crops and grass in a large radius. Oh, that's kind of convenient. So 5 living wood and a pasture seed, which you just get from throwing grass into a mana pool. Pasture seed acquired, and I think it is just like this, and there we go. Horn of the Wild. Claim. Next up is Horn of the Canopy. You hold right-click with the Horn of the Canopy, it'll harvest all leaves. So you just need to put the Horn of the Wild with a leaf. Okay. Horn of the Canopy. Done. Horn of the Covering. If right-click with this, it will harvest snow layers. Wow, that's convenient. And we need another Horn of the Wilds and a snowball. And there we go. Boom. Probably won't end up using any of those, but I guess they're nice to have. All right, now hopefully this should all be turned into living rock. It has. And we should be able to make our mana tablet now. Let's just use a mana pearl. There we go. Mana tablet. And it looks like we already have a band of mana. Guarantee you I got that from a dragon nest. And also, as you saw there, we got the alchemy catalyst. I had to make that in order to transmute a couple things for astral sorcery. It's not that difficult of a recipe. It's just brewing stands, a mana pearl, some living rock, and gold. And let me see. Band of mana, are you in here somewhere? Yes, you are, right there. Okay, I'm going to move 1 to the Botania chest, as well as put all these loot boxes away. By the way, forgot to open them last episode, so I think we're just going to wait until blood magic is done and then do like a 4-mod loot box opening. We're going to get so much good stuff, probably. All right, we can go ahead and claim Alchemy Catalyst, Mana Tablet, and the Band of Mana. And we can go ahead down here to the Conjuration Catalyst, and it lets you duplicate items at the cost of mana. Cool, we need Elementium, the Alchemy Catalyst. I'm going to go ahead and make another one of these because I might need the Alchemy Catalyst again. And then we also need some Pixie Dust just by trading a Mana Pearl into here. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure not to throw everything in here this time. There we go. Thank you. Pixie Dust acquired. We have our Elementium because I just threw in like I threw in a whole stack of Mana Steel just to get some extra resources to craft with. Good idea on my part. And there is our Conjuration Catalyst. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and claim that. And now this is this entire side done, except for maybe this Pulse Mana Spreader. This is just Redstone activated, it looks like. Mana Spreader and Redstone. I guess I can go ahead and make that. And Pulse Mana Spreader. I am very happy that most of the Botania recipes, at least so far, have been very straightforward, you know? Maybe it's just because I have a lot of the stuff already. Or maybe I'm just getting used to magic mods. Who knows? But this has been going very swell. So let's grab this Spark Augments. Oh. And there is a Dispersion, Recession, Domination, and Isolation runes. Ta-da! I'm going to go ahead and put those up here, I think. Yeah. All right, what is next? Next up, should we get this Sojourner's Sash next? And we do a whole bunch of this stuff, or do we figure out how to fight Gaia, or should we get our mana generation up? Man, so many choices. What to do? Maybe we should just make some flowers. Why don't we just make some flowers? That sounds like a good idea. So from the looks of things, this down here is all of the mana generation ones, and this up here is like the make stuff ones. Let's go for mana generation first because that'll force us to make the cake flower, and then we can set up our cake flower automation. So let's start from the top. Entropinium absorbs explosions and converts them into mana. So we need a rune of wrath and fire. We don't have wrath, so we need winter and earth. We don't have winter. Oh my god. Now, unfortunately, this recipe is going into the petal apothecary. So it might get consumed, and we do need to throw a seed in there. I did forget about that. All right, here we go. Is this going to consume my runes? Yes, so we might have to be making a whole bunch of runes. Great. I gotta love that. Anyways, we got our Entropinium, though, so that's going to go in the top chest. All right, claim. Next flower is the Munchdew. This probably just eats things. Eats leaves. Yep, figured. Rune of Gluttony, lime, red, and green. Gluttony is just winter, fire, and 2... mana diamonds. And here you go. Boom, a Munchdew. Chomp chomp. Okay, claim. And the next flower is the Kekimurus, which is the cake one. So we need another Rune of Gluttony. I feel like we're going to be needing a bunch of these. Some pixie dust, and then 2 whites, 2 oranges, and 2 browns. And seed. And there is our Kekimurus. And we're going to place this right here because we are going to end up using this. And that is quite a big range, so we can probably fit a lot of cake in here. I don't know how fast it's going to eat it, though, so we might have to make more flowers depending on how much cake we make, or we have to make more cake depending on how much flowers we have. You know how it is. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and start making these runes just kind of every now and again, because it seems like we kind of need them for basically everything. So let's get another one started. Claim this, and then go to the next one, which is a Gormarilis, and converts food into mana. Let me guess. Fire? Really? the one that eats food doesn't use gluttony? That does not make sense. All right, petals go in. Rune of fire, rune of summer, and a seed. And there is our Agormarilis. Yes, because we're not eating flowers. We're going to not use that one. Okay. I've made too many flowers today, and I've only made like 4. Narslimus. This one converts slimes, I bet. Yep. Slime spawns, destroys, and turns into mana. That's great. 2 greens, 2 limes, black, summer, water, and then a seed. Ta-da! Alright, next one is the Thermalily. I think this just goes next to lava, or it eats lava. That's not too bad. Earth, fire, red, and 2 oranges. 2 oranges, red, fire, earth, and seed. And a claim. That should be all of the generating ones, at least from this quest tree. The only one we're going to be using is, of course, Kekimuras, as I've said about 35 times. Since we're kind of in the flower-making kind of pathway, why don't we just go knock out the rest of these? Hopefully none of these are too crazy. These orchids, they might be kind of weird, because I think this has to do with ore generation, but I guess we'll find out. Anyways, Hopper Hawk? It says nothing! Okay, so it's basically a hopper. Okay. Hopper Hawk. Now we have unlocked all of these other ones. Let's figure out what these do. Clay Conica. I bet this makes clay, if I had to guess. Converts sand into clay. Wow, who would have thought? Adding a seed will give us the Clay Conica. Definitely better ways to get clay. Most notably, mystical agriculture. I feel like mystical agriculture kind of just trumps everything. Alright, next up, let's go for the Jaded Amaranthus. I don't have a clue what this is going to do. Generates mystical flowers on nearby dirt grass at the cost of mana. Oh, that's neat. Purple, lime, green. This root and the Rune of Spring with a seed is the Jaded Amaranthus, not an Amaryllis. Never mind. Okay, claim next up is the Solagnolia, who knows? This probably has something to do with the sun. Blocks magnets from working in an area. It does not require mana. Oh, this is actually going to be nice if it does not affect, like, item vacuums, because then I can just put this around my, like, Elementium setup, because we're going to have to be dropping stuff on the ground. So then when I fly around with my ring of magnetization, it's not just going to suck all the items onto the ground. So that's actually kind of convenient to have. Okay. And seed. And there is our Solanolia. I'm actually going to place that down, and I want to test this out. So let's chuck some living wood on the ground and put on our magnetization ring. It just, the stupid Endoflames just ate my living wood. I hate you. Okay, so that looks like the radius. That's actually not too bad. So we can probably fit that in around the area, so we're going to be making that stuff. Okay, cool. Good to know. Next up. Lunium. Probably going to have to do something with Looney Tunes. Oh, and it just doesn't do anything. The Lunium can, at the use of an extreme amount of mana, materialize items from dungeons. It looks to be a little bit annoying. We're going to need Envy, Gluttony, and Sloth. And drop a seed in. And we have our Lunium. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to end up using that just because it takes a huge amount of mana and dungeon loot. While it is cool to have, it's a lot easier to automate things the other way. And then you don't have to deal with like a whole bunch of item sorting, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, we'll just do stuff the other way. Okay, next up is a Bellthorn. Does damage to my entities at the cost of mana, does not harm players. Cool. And there we go. Bellthorn. Again, probably not going to use that. There's easier ways to damage mobs that don't use mana, like a mob spike, which is what we've been using. Okay, next up is the Orchid. This has something to do with ore transformation or generation. We might end up using this depending on what its abilities entail. Generates ores in nearby stone at the cost of mana. Oh boy, this one's going to be interesting, but let's check what it can actually make. Blah, 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 blah. It can make the Biomes of Plenty gem ores and prosperity and mana infused. Wow, okay. Anyways, what do we actually need to make this? Bunch of petals, we need another pixie dust, greed, and pride. Alright, while making some of these things, it looks like our mana pool, if we can grab our wand here, is just about out. So before it consumes the entire thing, let me go grab one of these lotuses here, and let's chuck it in and see how much we actually get. That's it? That was nothing. Oh, I see. There's an enchanted version. Interesting. Okay, so maybe we just got the weak sauce versions. Okay, well, we may have to start generating some more mana here because we almost out. And there we go. There's the last rune that we needed. So we need to dump pride, greed in there, and a seed. And there's our Orchid. Claim that. All right, now, Orchid Ignum generates nether ores at the cost of mana. Must be in the nether. So does this use an Orchid? It does not. So we need to do that entire thing again, just with different types of petals. Fantastic. Yeah, this is not advised because this mana is supposed to be for the portal, but unfortunately we ran out. Greed, pride, and seed. And there is our nether orchid. Ta-da! Okay, go ahead and claim that as well. And that is flowers completed. I think before we start doing Gaia or the rest of this, why don't we go ahead and get our next mana generation going? Because we need it. As you can see, I'm cannibalizing my portal, and that is probably not recommended. So I'm going to do just a little bit of research to figure out the best way to get cakes. I've got a couple ideas. You can either A, automate crafting, which you need an egg, so that's annoying. You can also starlight transmutation. You shine a pumpkin with starlight and it will turn into a cake, which is already placed down in the world. So if we get some kind of starlight transmutation via a lens, that could work because we do have astral after all. Or we make a different type of cake that doesn't use eggs. Like, I'm fairly certain you can use carrot cake. So all we would have to do is automate growing carrots, growing sugarcane, and growing everything we need to make dough, which is water. We can make that with a crafter. Salt, we can also make that with a crafter. Flour, you can grow wheat in the garden cloche as well as basically everything else here, and then you just have to do a bunch of crafting, which, to be honest, might be an easier solution. So I'm going to do a little bit of research, decide which one I want to do, and then go from there. Alright, here we are a little while later. Research has been done, and yes, carrot cake is going to be the best option. As you can see, I've gathered up a whole bunch of stuff that we need. 9 garden cloches, 3 to grow carrots, 3 to grow wheat, 3 to grow sugarcane, which will get us carrots, sugar, and dough. Dough is made with salt, water, and flour in a mixing bowl, which we have right here. The pot will be used to make... Oh, I think it was the salt. Yeah, I think the pot is used for the salt. The mixing bowl is used to make the dough, and the bakeware is used to actually make the cake. Growing carrots, growing sugar, dough, and then, of course, flour. We're going to have to run that through a pulverizer because that goes 1 to 2. So we've got a pulverizer right here with a resonant upgrade. And to get our sugar, we're going to run the sugarcane through a double crusher, which goes 1 to 3, I believe. Now, the double crusher isn't too bad. You just need an iron casing, some advanced coils, and some crushers. It's not too difficult of a crafting recipe. We've done all this stuff before. Okay, I've also went ahead and made a large compact machine, a 9x9x9, and we're going to be doing the entire setup in a compact machine. Okay, starting from the top, garden cloches go down. Let's get some power ran in, so we're going to need to grab some RTGs. Yep, you guessed it. We're going to be running this entire setup off of RTGs. Okay, so those will all have water. So now over here, we're going to do sugarcane, and sugarcane can only grow on sand in a garden cloche, which is a bit weird, but I guess understandable. And then next we'll go wheat, and then finally we will go carrots, like that. Okay, so those are all the crops that we need to grow. Let's start off with the sugarcane. So we need to put our double crusher right there. We need to grab some item cables. Sugarcane goes in, and then we need to power this thing. Yep, just barely keeping up, but we need to turn auto split on. Next up, we will do wheat. I'm going to have to put this into a drawer with a filter on the outputs because we are going to need to not use seeds. Then we will be taking out the wheat and running that into a crusher, or I guess it's a pulverizer. There we go. And we power this as well. Now we need to actually get a couple other things. So to start off, we need to make the dough. The dough is going to be the most annoying part. We need to get water and salt. We already have the flour. So how do we get water and salt? Well, that is going to be a little bit of an awkward system. We're going to put 2 RF tool crafters, each with their own power source right here. If I could actually place that, I missed both of those. That is embarrassing. So what we need to do here is we need to grab some fresh water, 1 to 8, hit apply there, and then we can just place a freshwater in there and it'll go from 1 to 8. So we basically just made 7 out of nothing. So water will get piped into here. As you can see, it's going up very quickly because we are just duplicating water extremely fast. So this chest, which will be filling up with water, is going to be our main source of water to draw from, because since this has priority 1 and so does this will be the main priority. So then what we can do is we can set this to priority 0, and this will only be on insert because we are drawing water out of the system, which will then draw into here, but we can put water right there and then a pot to make salt. And if we remember this, that means the pot will always stay in there, and that will just make salt. And it doesn't need to be super fast, it just needs to be enough. Okay, so that's salt and water. This should just be filling up constantly. Looks like it is. I'm not really worried about that. The bottleneck of this system is actually carrots, and that is fine by me. Okay, so we have salt, we have water and flour. So why don't we go ahead and combine those together right about here, I suppose. Alrighty, so with these piping all the ingredients in, finally we can add 1 salt, 1 flour, 1 water, and the mixing bowl into here. We hit apply and remember, just so we have at least one of everything in here at all times, and that will be making dough just fine. So let me actually turn these on so we didn't have a backflow, because I didn't want to fill it all up with water, because that is what it would have filled up with. Yep, looks like everything is coming in. We are making dough. Alright, so now we actually have dough, sugar, carrots. So we need to add one last crafter, and then we are making cakes. Alrighty, and now with our sugar, dough, and carrots in here, we can slap these all into the recipe along with the bakeware, hit the remember button, and apply. And there we have some carrot cake. I gotta make sure all these pipes are configured correctly, because I, again, didn't want an overflow. And there you have it. We are making a whole bunch of carrot cakes. And now all we have to do is send these to a output side, which we have a tunnel right here, and then we can just pipe cakes straight out from this crafter. Alrighty, and there we go. I'd say that is automatic cake production. So now what we need to do, we need to go grab a whole bunch of Kekimura and a whole bunch of mana spreaders, because I did test it. 1 Elven mana spreader can keep up with a Kekimura. I don't know if 2 Kekimura can go to 1 mana spreader. I did not test that. 3 flowers was too much, so I'm just going to make 1-to-1. It's just going to be easier that way anyway, and then we'll go set up a huge array of mana generation, and we will never have to worry about this again. Alrighty, here we go. 8 plants have been acquired, 8 spreaders have been acquired. We are good to go. Okay, now another thing, I tried to pipe the output from the cake into the wall, as you saw. That didn't work. So instead, I put it into the purple, orange, orange ender chest, which then we should be able to output from there. Because this, as you can see, has a whole bunch of carrot cake in it already. So we should just be able to pipe this straight into the block placer right here, and then it should place a cake down. There you go. So our mana pool is going to be here for now. That's just going to be our main one. So let's do like maybe something like this, and then we can put the mana spreaders something like this maybe. Of course, we're all going to have to link the flowers to the spreaders and then the spreaders to the pool. And since you can now see the range of the Kekimuras is quite large, we should probably place the cake like right here. So we can put our chest here, and cakes go in, and it starts eating and dumping mana in extremely quickly. Perfect. Now, I think our cake setup should keep up. At least that's what I tested it, and it did keep going up, so I guess we'll find out, obviously. Yeah, we have got mana for days, so let's go ahead and check this. Yeah, it's going up quite fast. It was empty when we started, and we're already at that much, so that is very good. So I think the next thing, should we go down this tree first before we start fighting Gaia? I think that's probably a better idea. So, first off, the Sojourner's Sash. Probably not going to end up using it, but it's nice to have. Air, Earth, a Mana Steel, and a Mundane Belt. Easy enough. And Sojourner's Sash, just like that. Claim. Next is the Benevolent Goddess Charm, which apparently we have. If you have this equipped in a bottle slot, it will drastically reduce damage you take from creepers and nullify the explosion itself. Oh, wow, that's actually quite cool. I think we got this out of a... I think we got this from a loot box, or maybe Potato Master threw me his, because I know he has one. But there we go. Claim. I am not going to go ahead and make another one, because mobs don't spawn for like 1,500 blocks in any direction, so I don't think I'm going to have to worry about creepers. Next up is Rod of the Seas. Can generate water at the cost of mana. That should grab our water staff. Rod of the Sea. Perfect. Next, Rod of the Plentiful Mantle. Highlight nearby ores with a right click at the cost of mana. And there we have Rod of Plentiful Mantle. And yes, you're probably going to be hearing the cake flowers be eating cake for the entire rest of the Botania video. Sorry, they like their cake. What can I say? Rod of Equal Trade. Exchanges another block. Okay, so it's just like an exchanger. And there's our Rod of the Shifting Crust. Nice, gonna go ahead and put that away. Claim, done. Next, Rod of Terra Firma. Oh god, are we playing Terra Firma Craft? Incredibly powerful tool. At the cost of large amounts of mana, it will raise or lower the ground around you, or level it if you're standing. Oh wow, can't destroy most stone type blocks. Oh, so it's like, oh wow, so it basically makes ground. Oh, this is expensive. We need, oh, yep, every single seasonal rune, a terrasteel ingot, a seed, which is pasture seed, that's pretty easy, but then Rod of Lands is earth, a twig, and dirt. Oh boy, we gotta make another terrasteel. Materials gathered, terrasteel acquired. Everything is ready to go for the Rod of Terra Firma. Boom, claim. Oh, right, so that's all of it for the wands on this side, and now we get to do Gaia. Oh boy, that's gonna be exciting. I have never done this before, so, I mean, I've never done any of these magic mods. So, you know, whatever. The pylons are part of the ritual required to summon the Gaia Guardian. We need 4 of them. Oh, God. Oh, that looks expensive. We need 4 times 2, 8 pixie dust. We need 8 elementium. We need 4 mana pylons, and 16 mana dust. Oh, that's going to be fun. So we need aerothium, cryothium, pyrotheum, and petrothium. 4 mana diamonds, and that makes 2. So we need 8 of those recipes. Half a stack. Is that really half a stack of these? Yeah, we really need half a stack of mana. That's crazy, man. That's so much mana diamonds. So cryothium and I have aerothium? Blitz powder. Oh, yeah, I definitely have blitz powder, because blitz rods, I have a lot of those from killing all the stupid blitzes in my area, so that's fine. Pyrothium, we also have a recipe for. And the other one, which we do not have, petrothium, because we do not have basalts. How does one acquire a basalt? Drop in a barrel of pyrothium to spawn basalts. Oh, hello. Thank you for the basalt rod. Alrighty, there we go. Mana dust has been acquired. Dump all of the rest of this into there, and 1, 2, 3, 4 Gaia pylons. Perfect. Quest complete. Claim this, and now we need to grab Gaia Spirit. Consult the Lexica Botania for information on how to summon. If you can't find anything about the Gaia Guardian in the Botania, try throwing it into the portal. Yes, we have already figured out how to do this, so that is all good. So we need to go grab a beacon. Now the real question is, should I do this somewhere nearby, or should I go a little bit ways away, just in case something weird happens? I feel like we should go a little bit ways away just in case, so I think the desert is a great place to go. That looks like a pretty good visualization, and this looks like a perfect spot to put this. Alright, terrasteel acquired. I am in no way prepared for this. I just have my laser gun. It is charged up, and I've got armor and pizza, so I think it'll be fine. Obstructions? Oh, is this cactus in the way? Guess we're clearing out a little bit of desert. How about now? There we go. Yo, this music kind of slaps, though. Boom! Gaia defeated. That was not too bad. That was actually really cool. And we got 8 whole spirits out of that and an epic shader grab bag. Dark Fire. Wow. Okay. So we could put that onto our weapons. Alright, well that was neat. I might want to do that a few more times because I'm fairly certain Gaia Spirit is probably going to be important. There is ways to automate getting this with blood magic, but honestly, that music was kind of banging. All right, well, anyways, we can go ahead and claim that. And next up, Guardian 2. Oh, apparently there's something else we need to do now. Ritual of Gaia 2. One would think that combining 2 of the most powerful resources known in existence, terrasteel and Gaia spirits, would create an unstoppable material. Yeah, probably. This ingot, though, due to the concentrated energy, allows for summoning a stronger Gaia Guardian with more difficulty. Also drops more Gaia spirits as well as some good rare goodies. Ooh, I like rare goodies. Let's do it. And it looks like the only thing you need these Gaia ingots for is to make the Globetrotter sash and to make the creative mana tablet and creative mana pool. So not gonna need too many of these, so we can go ahead and make one here. We need, oh great. Yeah, more mana dust, so that means more petrothium. Terrastingle.
Cut the cameras.
Terrastingle, Jesus. Terrasteel ingot has been acquired. Gaia Spirit ingot. Claim that. Now, this thing, I don't know what this is. This we can make. I have no idea what that is. Let's fight this boss again. Yeah! Is this a different song? Alright, you're going down. Bam! Ooh, and I got one of those dice thing. What does this dice thing do? Let me go read the thing before I look at it, because I feel like this is like, what could be inside? Oh god, I don't know. Do I want to know what's inside? Oh, and I got a whole bunch of weird stuff too. We got Rune of Envy, Rune of Greed, we got some Mana Pearls, we got some Mana Steel, and we got a Will of Torag. Craft with a terrasteel helmet to add the following effect. Critical hits apply a strong slowness effect. Oh, and we got 16 Gaia Spirit. I had 4 on me already. That's actually not a bad haul. So you get 16 from the, I guess, elite boss, and then 8 from the normal. So it's twice. Okay, that's not too bad. He deals the cards to find the answer. The sacred geometry of chance, the hidden laws of probable outcome, the number leads to a dance. Okay. The dice landed on a 5, and it transformed into something else. I got a Ring of Odin. What does it do? I don't know. I feel like we're going to have to read about this. Oh my god. As well as the addition of 10 extra hearts of health, it protects from various kinds of elements such as drowning, suffocation, fire, or starvation. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at all those hearts. They are green now. Okay, now apparently there's more rings too, because you check here, Ring of Thor, and Ring of Odin, and Ring of Loki. There's 3 of them, and I kind of want to get the other one, so I think we're just gonna go, fight the Botania boss again. Boom. Oh, that one dropped a music disc. Got another dice. We got another Will of Torog. We got... Okay, so it looks like it's... Well, no, it's not, because we got more Mana Steel and a couple more pearls that time. Boom! We rolled a 4, and we got the Ring of Thor. That rhymes. Drastically increases the strength of the area of effect mining with a terrasteel shatterer. Okay, so this not going to be super useful because I don't need a terrasteel shatterer. Okay, well, let's do it again. Boom. You know what? I'll take this one. What is this? The fruit of Grissia can be eaten to any other piece of food, but instead of utilizing food, it uses mana. All right, so just looking over here, I think this is all of the relics over here. We can get Fruit of Grissia, the Key of the King's Law, Eye of the Flugel, and then the 3 rings plus the dice. So I might just want to go ahead and fight this boss 3 more times. Gaia has been defeated 3 more times. We got a decent amount of stuff. We're up to a stack and 16 Gaia Spirit, which is good because we're probably going to need some for a bunch of garbage, such as the Benzionite or whatever that was. And the Dice of Fate again. We got a Key of the King's Law. Let's see what this one does. Holding right-click with the key will summon a bunch of weapons. I don't know how this works. Probably won't end up using any of these anyway, besides this Odin ring. I do like having extra health, but... The magnetization ring is also very useful. Maybe we can find another way to get magnetic stuff, but I don't know. For now, we'll see what I want. Anyways, this looks like the Ring of Loki. Allows the wearer to tap upon the trickster god Loki to place multiple blocks at once. I don't know how much I'll end up using that because I feel like the building gadget's probably just going to be easier to use, but that's cool. And I think the last thing we can get is the Eye of Flugel. Oh, so this is like an Osgogloss warp point. Not only costs mana, but cannot be executed across 2 dimensions. Okay, so this is just a worse Osgogloss tool. Okay, well, that's weird. All right, I think now that Gaia has been defeated, we can go ahead and make the Gaia Mana Spreader and the Shard of Laputa and finish out Botania. All right, so let's start with the Shard of Laputa. Ability to raise a chunk of land from the ground into the sky. So we need a bunch of weird stuff for this. 3 Gaia... Essence. 2 Prismarine Shards, I should have those. A Floating Flower, so we just need a Pasture Seed, a Flower, and a Dirt, so that should be pretty simple to get. Earth and Water Rune plus this Dragon Stone, which you have to trade a Mana Steel. Okay, that's not too bad. I guess we can go ahead and do that. And I think I said Mana Steel, it's actually a Mana Diamond. And here we have our Shard of Laputa, Power of 1. I don't really want to try this out because I feel like I'm going to punch a hole in my lawn somewhere, but we're going to do it anyway for the science. What are you doing? I did not... Oh my god. Why did I do that? Unfortunately, there's going to be a giant hole in my lawn for a little bit. Is there a way to put this back down? That was really stupid of me. Why did I do that? Okay, let's go ahead and claim that. Let's make the Gaia Mana Spreader. Fastest Mana Spreader. Now, the real question is, how fast? We need Bifrost blocks, which means we need Rod of the Bifrost. Oh my god. The way that we get this glass is quite a process. So we take normal glass, and then we chuck it into mana to get mana glass. And then we take the mana glass and we trade it for elf glass. And then we can take the elf glass and we combine it with the Rod of the Bifrost to get Bifrost blocks. Okay, and it looks like it does not get consumed, so let's just go ahead and make a whole bunch of Bifrost glass. Oh my god, it's rainbow. That's still going? Oh my god, how... Dude. What have I done? Alrighty, so I went ahead and I moved the 2 mana spreaders from the portal over here as well. We got those turned into Elven mana spreaders, so we can go ahead and put the lenses in. We need our Bifrost block, I believe. And then we needed one more thing. Ah, yes, Gaia Essence. It's Gaia Spirits, not Gaia Essence. I need to remember that. Boom, boom, and boom. Alright. Botania is completed. I would like to go give it a once over though, just looking through the book to see if there's anything cool that I'd like to make. So let me go ahead and get these mana spreaders set up as well. Oh, and by the way, this thing is completed. Yes, this is going to be very useful for the magic building, but that's for later. Now I have to move this back down. Yeah. Alrighty, so taking through this book, I don't think we need anything else, but I do want to grab a Cloak of Judgment just to see what it does and if it actually looks cool. I don't know if it's actually going to show up or if it even has a model, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and make the Cloak of Balance just to see what happens. And there we go. Alright, let's see. Can I actually put this on body? Oh, it does have a thing. Jeez. What? You know, I know exactly what this looks like. I think with that is probably going to be it for this episode. I think this one's going to be a little bit shorter than the other two just because we kind of got through Botania extremely quickly. Mostly because Botania is more of a tech mod, not really a magic mod. It's got a magic theme, but it's mostly a tech mod. I found it to be pretty interesting and quite enjoyable as well, especially getting the whole Kekimura cake setup going. That was pretty cool. Next episode, we're probably just going to jump straight into Blood Magic and knock that tree out as well, just to have all 4 of the magic trees done. And then on the episode after that, we are going to build the entire magic building with all 4 magic mods together. And that is going to look very cool. Goodbye.